race 4 at Randwick yesterday was running at the Brian Crowley's Brian Crowley Stakes for 3-year-olds over 1,200 metres listed. The winner of the race was Northern Meteor, who's been very impressive his last 2 starts. We'll let you lead off on this, mate. Seeing you're really keen on this horse. And the trainer.
I am very keen on both the horse and the trainer. Gay
trying to get to that pool party, aren't you?
Yeah, yes. Look, Gay, if you're watching this, just in case, he wants that invitation. Send a Paul Ward that invitation.
I just want to get a crack at a few of the stallions. I'm sure we'll be able to get one sooner or later. But no, look, I think that it was good to see that horse frank his previous efforts. He showed a lot of potential.
Yeah, won a midweek maiden about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
We were waiting to see if he would duplicate that every track. Yeah,
he did. You know, and look, there's no doubt the track favoured leaders yesterday. There's no doubt in my mind. We saw that all of the winners were coming from forward positions, but he won in such a dominant fashion and in very good time.
You couldn't help but be impressed by the win.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think that all things aside, he's a really smart horse. Got a really interesting pedigree. He's buying Costa de Largo out of a Fabiano mare. And he's a colt, so you know, if he can win a good stakes race, he might make a very interesting stallion.
Just one minute, Fabiano, is that Halo Blood?
No, Fabiano is Mr. Prospect.
Mr. Prospect,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's actually been coming to the fore a little bit. This Mr. P blood in Australia is really coming to the fore.
Well, in Costa Largo's dam size.
Correct, yeah.
Mr. Prospector too, isn't it?
And Costa Largo is actually out of a Starway mare. Who in turns out of a Mr. B mare, so there's that relationship with Flying Spur.
Yeah,
Rolls is the
Rolls.
She's the Flying Spur, but we're seeing a lot more of this Mr. P blood coming in different quarters. Even the 1,000 Guineas winner was out of a King Mambo mare,
Mr. Prospect,
another Mr. P. So, but get back to the winner. He's really nice horse. Interesting to see if he's got more than one dimension, whether he's just a pure speed horse or whether he's a horse that can eventually take a sit and accelerate. If he's able to do that, then he can truly be an exciting horse. Otherwise, you know, he'll be fairly limited and it'll be more determined on the race day tactics. Out of the race, it would be remiss of me not to mention the effort of Snow Alert, the horse that I've put a big boom on and you know, believe is a Group 1 horse. Obviously, if he's to be a Group 1 horse, he needs to be performing better than he did yesterday. Was a disappointing effort, given that he was beaten by such a space by the winner. Having said that, I think that the ride yesterday left a little bit to be desired. He seemed to find a lot of backsides coming, more backsides than Oxford Street coming into the straight.
That's a beauty.
And I think that he struggled.
You'll never live that experience down, will you?
It scarred me for life, literally. No, it's. I think that when the horse finally saw daylight, he did accelerate quite nicely and hit the line well. So I did say last time I want to give him another chance. I'm going to give him one more chance. Might be at my peril, but I don't want to get off just yet because he's a horse that truly there's a huge opinion around the stable on the horse. Sometimes they get that wrong.
He was backed off the map as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
So they obviously thought he could win.
Yeah, in a good class race, you know, there was some nice horses in that race, and so I'll give him one more chance, and that's about it. Other than that, I've got nothing much to say.
Your thoughts on that?
Look, that was an exhibition of low flying there yesterday. A tick over 108 broke a track record that stood since 1999. I think I heard the track caller Mark Sheen saying Abaniccio held the record from memory. As I said, an exhibition of low flying.
Son of Bite the Bullet.
Yeah. It was an enormous performance. You know, certainly a bit of track bias and whatever else. There were some mitigating factors there, I accept, but this horse is every bit a special talent. I think they need to reassess their plans. I think before yesterday, Hawkesbury Guineas was being touted as his goal. The Ascot Vale is a very realistic opportunity for this horse.
It's the only race you should be running in.
He needs to go down south and take on the likes of other Sydney Goldens, Fist of Fury and a few other nice Melbourne horses, and he'll give some real swish. he left a trail of fire behind him. It was just an enormous display. Really keen on the horse, and what's not to be keen. 2 track records in 2 starts. It's just something that 3-year-olds don't do.
Well, it's amazing what the gear change has done to this horse. Because previously he was at the John Hawkes camp, and he's been switched to the Waterhouse camp just to blinkers.
Blinkers, yeah. And is a different racing pattern as well. I don't think he always was a leader either.
Well, he took a sit at his first 2 starts. He took a sit, and as a matter of fact, his last start before the switch of stables, he took a sit, was 4th in running, was disappointed for a run. He should have won that as well.
Yeah, he should have won. Yeah,
but it's a different horse.
There's no doubt the gear change has really stepped it up.
Yeah.
So look, who's to say you've got to be a big rep for the horse? You have to be. I think outside of that, certainly the only one worth mentioning is Snow Alert. After his run 2 starts ago, I certainly agree that he had plenty of talent. But after the last start, I thought his reputation had taken a knock. Something of that description is what I thought. And look, I accept that. Assuming you give him another start, you have to. Especially when you've got an opinion of him like that, you've got to give him another chance. I think yesterday's run was one where you can say, look, give him another chance. It was a shocking ride, and with the track bias considered, he did make up some ground.
Yeah.
So he did enough to say, look, I've lost a hell of a lot of money on him these last 2 starts, but I'll give him one more go. But look, I tell you, if he fails next start,
he's out.
He needs to go to the sin bin because there've been plenty of horses, and reputations aside, mate. Chris Waller wouldn't be the first one to have a big rap on a horse and it doesn't measure up.
No,
there's many come before him and there many go after him. So there are a dime a dozen horses that had a big rap from the trainer didn't produce. So, but look, I accept you want to give him that another chance. When you got an opinion of him like that, you have to. And yesterday he wasn't completely sin bin because he did make up some ground from last after a shocking ride. So
no, he may not be in the sin bin, but he's certainly been put on report.
Oh yeah,
he's accumulated probably enough
99,
points.
99.
No, one more.
He's got some carryover points from last start.
He has got carryover points, definitely. So one more. If he goes to do Disrigan one more time, you might see him out for a few weeks. But yeah, and the boys have said it all. It needs to be said. Hawkesbury Guineas, forget about it. Why worry about a listed race when you can go down to Melbourne, scorch down the straight? I mean,
and like you said,
it's a ready-made race for him, mate.
They want a stallion prospect there, so
that's the best race you can win for a
3-year-old. Yeah, fantastic. Ascot Vale,
and it's a sprint race.
Ascot Vale's time on it. It's just a perfect race for him. He'll just scoot down that straight 6. So that's where he should be heading. I can't imagine they would be considering any other race with him.
So who will be courting Goree there soon? Because they don't stand their own stallions, do they?
They've got a pretty good relationship with Coolmore.
And Widden as well?
They breed a lot to Coolmore stallions and also Widden.
Widden stood stallion for them.
Widden do all their yearlings at the sales. So they'd obviously have pole position in any sort of, if the horse was to...
Well, who's going to court him is going to be... we're going to have to wait and see if he can...
He's got to do it.
Do it first.
Oh, he does.
He's won a listed race.
But they start courting a long time.
Yeah, they do. But no one's going to even consider it. Well, they're not going to consider something until we see if we can win Group 1 races because they're difference in money.
But if he does, he's
worth a bit.
Well, what's
magnificent international pedigree there with Fabiano involved and stuff like that. So
he's got a beautiful pedigree. It's hard to say, Matt. Really, if he were to win the Ascot Vale, a horse like that with that pedigree, you could stand for 50,000.
Yeah,
from the get-go.
First season.
Yeah, so...
provided he's a type. I haven't seen him. I don't know.
He looks a pretty good type from what I've
seen.
seen.
I haven't seen him in the flesh yet,
mate. His legs and see how he's tidy, but he's got that kind of X-factor pedigree that could really kick on and be something quite outstanding.
And I think you see the key to Guru's having all this success. It's there's no guesswork about it at all. They made a decision to start going to some decent stallions. They went to the likes of Costa de Largo, and this is the sort of the result that they've been getting. So it's no surprise. Yeah.
They've had a long relationship with her, but I think we've said it all when it comes to the Brian Crowley Stakes. We've set our piece on the horses to follow and horses we should give another chance to, so we'll see how they go. Thanks.